In the heart of a misty valley lay the small, secluded village of Onslow. It was a place where time stood still, where secrets were buried in the shadows of cobblestone streets. Among these shadows lived a reclusive dollmaker named Viktor Earl. But Viktor wasn't just any craftsman. His dolls were unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Some said they were too lifelike. Others whispered that they moved on their own. This is the story of Viktor, his creations, and the chilling secret that haunted them all. The haunting legacy of Viktor's dolls. In a small, misty valley tucked away from the bustling world lay the secluded village of Onslow. Time seemed to have stopped in this place, where cobblestone streets twisted through quiet homes and secrets lingered in the shadows. Among these secrets was a reclusive dollmaker named Viktor Earl. Viktor was no ordinary craftsman. His dolls were masterpieces, each so lifelike that they left people awestruck and uneasy. The villagers whispered about them, claiming their eyes followed you or that they moved ever so slightly when no one was looking. Viktor lived on the outskirts of the village in a crooked old workshop. Ivy crept along the stone walls, and its windows were smudged with age, giving it a haunting appearance. Inside, rows upon rows of dolls sat on shelves, their porcelain faces illuminated by flickering candlelight. Their glassy eyes seemed to peer into your soul, and their tiny hands, painted with delicate precision, were poised as though ready to grasp something. For 50 years, Viktor had worked in solitude, pouring his heart and soul into his creations. The villagers kept their distance, whispering of his strange ways, but one girl, Clara, found herself drawn to the mystery of Viktor's dolls. Clara was the baker's daughter, curious and unafraid, and on a rainy afternoon, she decided to venture into Viktor's world. The air inside the workshop was heavy, filled with the scent of sawdust and varnish. Viktor appeared from the shadows, holding a nearly finished doll. His piercing blue eyes, set deep in his lined face, met Clara's. He didn't scold her for intruding. Instead, he invited her closer. In his hands was a doll so lifelike it sent a shiver down her spine. The villagers noticed something strange after Clara's visit. At night, faint footsteps echoed in the streets. Some claimed to hear soft giggles carried on the wind, and shadows too small to belong to a person darted past windows. One night, she woke to the sound of soft laughter in her bedroom. Lighting her lantern, she saw a doll with a red ribbon in its hair standing by her bed. "Play with us, Clara, forever." Her scream shattered the silence of the night. By morning, she was pounding on Viktor's door, demanding answers. Viktor, looking more worn than ever, invited her inside and began to unravel his dark secret. Viktor confessed that he had tried to control them, but it was no use. The dolls had minds of their own, and once they chose a target, they wouldn't stop until they got what they wanted. Clara's blood ran cold as she realized she had been marked. Desperate, Viktor and Clara devised a plan to end the nightmare. They would lure the dolls into the workshop and burn it to the ground. The night was still as Viktor and Clara worked quickly, gathering the dolls and setting traps. But as they moved through the workshop, the dolls began to stir. Their once lifelike faces twisted into grotesque grins, and their tiny hands clutched sharp tools, needles, scissors, and knives. "Playtime is over," Viktor shouted, lighting a lantern and throwing it onto a pile of wood shavings. Flames erupted, consuming the workshop in seconds. The dolls screamed, a horrifying, human-like wail that echoed into the night as the fire roared. Clara and Viktor barely escaped as the building collapsed into a fiery inferno. By morning, all that remained was ash. The villagers gathered around the ruins, their faces pale with relief. But Viktor was gone, and no one could say for certain if he had perished or simply vanished. Clara tried to move on, but the memory lingered, and the village remained haunted by the events of that night. Weeks later, Clara received a package. Inside was a single doll, a perfect replica of Viktor. A note pinned to its chest read, "The secret lives on." To this day, the ruins of Viktor's workshop are avoided. The villagers refuse to speak of him or his cursed dolls. But on moonlit nights, some swear they hear faint giggles drifting from the shadows, as though the dolls are still there, waiting for someone new to play with. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your fellow horror lovers. Stay tuned for more chilling stories from Eerie Echoes.